Welcome to Auntie's Parenting Tidbits, life hacks and resources for the perfectly imperfect parent. Today I want to discuss going back to school virtually. This school year, most of us are sending our kids back to school virtually, at least for the first part of the school year, if not for the entire school year. Most of us are really unsure about what's going to happen after Christmas, as we should be. So I want to talk about some things we can do to make it seem like a normal school year for our kids, a normal first day of school for our kids, because it's going to be a little different. We know at the end of the school year, it was a little different for our kids. Well, the first day of school with them not leaving the house, it's going to be a little different for our kids. So there's some things that we can do as parents to help them make it seem a little more normal. So here are some things that I thought would make it seem a little more normal. So the first thing is do a back to school countdown. So in my house, the 2 weeks before school, we go back on our bedtime schedule because we get all off of it on the summer. So we go back on our bedtime schedule and do an end of the school year countdown to get them ready for. Okay, so we're going to have to start going back to bed early. I'm going to start back waking you up early like you have to go to school. Even though you don't have to go to school, you still got to get up like you have to go to school so you can get your body prepared for school. And we do a countdown to get them ready for this is what we're going to have to do. This is going to be the first day. Usually, when he has to go back in, they have to go back in and see their friends. They're getting excited for the online thing. The excitement's not quite there this time. So we're still going to start the countdown starting Monday, August 3rd. But again, excitement's not quite there this year because they're not going to go back to see their friends and to do it on the computer. And it's just not the same for them. The second thing is to let them create their back to school space. So for my kids, I have one that is doing their back to school in their bedroom. I have one that's doing it in the kitchen so they can be separated. And so they're both getting to create their back to school space, hanging things on the walls, um, bringing in desks, that kind of thing, so that they have their own spot to do their activities, to be on their computers, their allotted amount of school time. And then when school is over, that spot they can push their chair in and go about the rest of their day. So let them create their back to school spot. So they have one spot that this is your school spot. And when school is over, you push that chair in, turn off your computer, and your day is over. No different than if you're working from home, your at home computer spot. You push that desk chair in, you turn that computer off, and then you don't think about that spot anymore. You let them create that spot. Another thing you can do, especially if you got like a young kid, a kindergartner especially, is to read them back to school books that aren't necessarily about them going to school, but just having the school experience. I will list a couple books in the um, description, um, but reading some back to school books really get them ready and excited about going back to school. It works better with younger kids than older kids. I have a preschooler who's not getting to go to preschool. Yeah, they're not really doing anything for the preschooler, so I'm going to take on preschool myself. Yay! And um, so to get him excited about preschool, we read a lot of preschool books. So it works better with preschoolers, kindergartners, first graders, maybe second graders. Past that, I don't know how the stories will work, but reading never hurts. So read books to them about going back to school. Have the back to school fairy drop off some school supplies. I mean, kids love getting school supplies, so they're still going to need some notebooks to write in, even though things are on the computer. They're still going to need some pencils. They're still going to need some folders to keep some things in. Um, They may need crayons, depending on what their age group is. If their teacher wants them to draw a picture and scan it in and send it, or take a picture of it to email it to them. We had to do a lot of that last year, take pictures of things that they drew and email it to the teacher. So, drop off some supplies to them from the back to school ferry. They'll love that, and it'll get them, excited maybe about doing this online thing. Another thing you can do is a special back to school breakfast. So most kids are going back either at the end of August or the beginning of September. So plan a special breakfast. What do you want for breakfast? That's what we're having on your first day of school. You tell me what you want, I'm getting up to cook it. We know that the online schools don't necessarily start at the same time as the regular school does, so you got some leeway there um, to get up and cook breakfast. So make it a special breakfast. We're having all your favorites for your first day of school, and you get up and you cook that, and you make it a special. We're all going to eat together day because it's the first day of school. The first day of school is a special day, and you make it something special. Kids love it when you make your special food, their special foods anyway. Start a back to school journal. So their first day at school, let them write about what it was like to have their first day of school be online. Doesn't have to be long. They could draw a picture and write about what they did under the picture if they're young. Um, but they get it out about what it was like to do their first day of school online, because this is something new for all of us, really. And maybe you end up having to be their teacher for most of the day. Maybe they get to critique what mom was like as the first day of school teacher, or what dad was like as the first day of school teacher, or what auntie or uncle or grandma was like as their first day of school teacher. But at least it lets them get some of their emotions out about having that first day of school be something new for them, as this online thing. But um, take first day of school pictures. I know that they're going to be at home. Maybe they don't have a fancy new outfit to wear. Maybe get them new pajamas to wear for their first day of school because they're at home. Okay, maybe they, instead of having their first day of school picture being that fancy new um, jean outfit, maybe have it be a fancy new pajama outfit, and still take their first day of school pictures with their little signs or with the cutouts, but still give them that first day of school picture, minus the backpack because they're not going to school, but still with their first day of school picture with their grade, with all of the bells and whistles, because it's still their first day of school. It is still something special, even if they're not leaving the house. Leave them a note. Leave them a note telling them how well they did at the end of the day. Leave them a note at the beginning of the day. Tell them how proud you are, how well the day is going to go, how this is just a bump in the road. They're eventually going to be back with their friends. Kids like those. They pretend like they don't, they do. Celebrate with a treat. At the end of the day, give them a treat. Whatever their favorite sweet treat is, or if your kid doesn't eat sweets, whatever their favorite treat is, um, not their regular meal, but their favorite treat is. Let them have that at the end of the day, at the end of their school day. Their day might end at noon because it's the online learning thing, or maybe this school year they're actually going to have it go the whole day. For my kid, that's what it sounds like. They're going to actually have to be on the computer the whole day. So at the end of their school day, have their favorite treat ready for them to have at the end of the day as a celebration of you made it through your first day of your new grade. And lastly, set up a Zoom play date with some of their friends that they haven't gotten to see, so that they can all talk about and laugh and be goofy with some of their friends who also have probably had a really trying first day of online school, learning whatever new program that they have to learn for their new school day, and just let them be goofy on Zoom with each other. They will love it. They can show each other their new pajamas or new school hairdo or whatever they got for their first day of online learning, and they can just be goofy for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, however long, you two parents, three parents, however many you want for your Zoom play date, decide and just let them let off some steam and be goofy since they can't be with each other. Set up the Zoom play date, make that first day a little more special and a little more interactive with some peers. So, those are my tips for how to make their first day of school a little more special in this social distancing online learning world that we are now in, at least for this first semester, possibly for the whole school year this year. It seems like this time it's going to be a little better. We don't know what's going to happen for the second semester, but at least for this first semester, we're all at home with our kids again, possibly teaching some of our kids again. So let's make this first day special for all of them. And I am now off my soapbox. And before I go, I want to tell everybody to check out this new podcast called We Posted Up the Podcast. It can be seen or heard rather on all major podcasts, well, the three major podcast platforms: Google Podcasts, Apple, and Spotify. It is three men discussing all kind of topics from a man's point of view. Go check it out. You'll thank me later. We'll be seeing you. Bye.
Just subscribe to Mommy's channel.